It is I, Empress Danny, and welcome in. We are here for the daily grind, pouring you up a hot cup of joe, going to get you off to a bright and beautiful start. And certainly it is my pleasure to do so. I hope that you are well. What's up, Archie? Welcome in. Here starting the top of the day. Today has a lot to do with people who want it or who say that they want it. No shortage of those people, but only a small amount who are willing to do what is necessary to get it. Right? What is it? Right? Sometimes this is just being intelligent enough to understand. This could be like what's needed. And obviously, this is much deeper than feelings or sensing, right? Because one thing that we have to be sensitive to is where each person is in life, right? A lot of times it's almost like we have our hand out, but if we are sensitive to what's going on in another person's life, we may want what we want, but what they're dealing with is much deeper, and it's not their job or their role. Perhaps to give that to us or to do that for us. And so today could be addressing the house of self as it pertains to wanting to be satisfied, wanting maybe it is your wishes to be fulfilled. And I have to say, sometimes this can even be feeling some type of way about them not being fulfilled. But what could be a spiritual nudge that's much deeper that says, why don't you understand perhaps the assignment here that helps us to let go? Similarly, this could be the other way around, where there are some people who have their hand out as it pertains to you. And you could be in a position where you're having to trust what could be like letting go. I can't give that to them, or I can't do that for them. Sometimes it's his friends, it's family, it's people that we love. And that spiritual nudge will hit us very deeply. And if we are disobedient because we simply want to do what we want to do and we're unwilling to release, when we see the signs that spirit is giving us to release, then we end up in a position where we lose. That's kind of how that works, where a lot of times if we are being an enabler and God recognizes we are enabling people, situations, we are supporting that, then God will bring us to the bottom of our own, perhaps seemingly bottomless pit, so that we can no longer give to that. And that depletion that we experience will be so that we will stop giving to what is not ordained by God. Similarly, right? Where we open ourselves up and we receive Spirit's nudge that says, look, this is what I want you to give to. This is what I want you to support. This is where I want you to perhaps give your help, give your energy, give your time. Maybe it is your experience, your tutelage. That is when there is a quantum collapse. So I do feel like prepare yourself for some form of quantum collapse today. And it feels as though it could definitely be a recognition or a realization of what may be in your life, a pleasure-seeking energy, where you perhaps want the pleasure of being able to do, being able to give, or being able to receive, or someone else in your life perhaps wants that. And by virtue of realizing that, what feels like very deeply, it feels as though it could certainly begin the process towards a new path. Okay, there is something significant around messaging today. And again, this could be receiving messages. Hey, can you do this? Can I have this? I need that. Or again, I want to give you this. I want to give you that. But this could be a new chapter where you're being observant, because every time someone wants to give to you, perhaps you're realizing, I know that that's what they want, but that's not what's needed. This could also be every time you're in a position, perhaps where someone is asking where you want to give. Spirit could be saying, I'm trying to teach you to stop doing that, right? And Spirit may be calling you to a place of stillness and to contemplation. So I do feel the top of every situation today, including the top of the day in and of itself, brings about this neutral energy that is simply resting, it's waiting, it's giving pause, which again, I feel a heavy sense of dealing with what could be trauma, what could be like matters of history, things that people don't know about, sensitivities, what could be vulnerabilities, working through some of those things. And if we're not willing to give pause in order to work through some of those things, then we won't be pure in our heart. We'll be speaking from that place of heart that's hurting, that's burdened, that's been wounded. And so I feel as the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. At the end of the day, it's our desire to be pleasing to our mission, right? What created the mission, what endowed it to us, what gave us the tools, the resources to be able to complete it. That is our ultimate desire, is to be true to the mission. And so we have to be sensitive, much like the deer, and a willingness to heed when it's time to heed. If you think about a deer, a lot of time is spent in stillness, and then what happens? They dart, right? Sometimes they're wrong, right? When they make that move, like, oh, didn't see those lights, right? Now I'm stuck in the light, blinded by the light, right? Take me where the light ends. Type energy. But the reality is when we stop, right, and we're in this space that is willing to just kind of what could be like delay, wait, give pause. It really does give stop and think about it. Think about the sensitivities that you are nurturing, or perhaps that someone else is nurturing. Then this leads us to midday, this space of authenticity. And Mari, I'm glad to see you. Thank you for being here. But it feels as though midday, we go from earth at the top of the day, which could be working or working through some things. And midday is that fire coming in, and it's an intersection point where it's time to be authentic. I can be real with you, or I can choose that I'm not going to be real with you, right? You can be real with me, or I can choose to not be real with you. But it definitely feels as though midday brings in an opportunity where the spirit yearns, beckons, or calls for authenticity in a decision as to which direction we're going to go. Getting the message again, keep it real. That could be keep it a band, right? Just like my girl Big Ange. And then the end of the day, it feels as though there is a realization of a new chapter that's emerging, right? And this can be like a new aspect of yourself that's coming forward, right? I choose to be authentic, right? I hear India Ari, I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be authentic in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. I choose. So I feel that energy as a parent. I do feel like this is when it comes to what could be like making a name for yourself, being a staple. I'm going to be present. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do what it is that I do. I'm going to be who I say I am. And not only that, but on the other side of that, this is what I want to be known for. So I do feel an opportunity today, perhaps, to make a name for oneself, to see some new opportunities open up, some new doors open up. But this has to do with you being authentic, being true to who you are. In relationship, this would be, am I really with you, or am I just playing like I'm with you? What direction am I going to go? And if I'm going to go that direction, then what the things that I do will be indicative of my intentions to go that particular path, right? If I want to be married, then we're going to sit down and we're going to make plans to make this happen. If I don't want to be married, then we're going to sit down and we're going to make plans to go our separate ways. That's the energy that today brings about, right? It says, if I want to be with you, then this is me doing what is necessary for me to do in order for us to go that road together. So I feel like pay attention, right? Peepers up, right? Some of you, this could certainly be like, be on top of your messages, right? Because I do feel like information, things of that nature coming in. I also feel like you're being shown love. So I do feel like anticipate that, because I feel like it's in my best Lizzo voice, right? It's about damn time. Because I feel many of you, you've been authentic, and sometimes this crossroads is for someone else to perhaps demonstrate for you that they mean what they say they mean as well. And I feel today in comes some things that heighten those peepers, right? Get your attention, right? Perk up your aware. Maybe you're getting perked up, right? Hopefully not those types of perks. Let's just be completely honest, because I ain't gonna lie, I was picking up yesterday some sort of energy, but some of y'all, that might be conversations that you're having. Are you perking? Because the only perks I'm accepting is coffee, honey. You better get you some of them beans. It's quiet in the temple, okay? So I feel that energy channel song today was Tasha Cobb, For Your Glory. And I do feel a heavy spirit of worship, but this feels like worship by listening, right? By paying attention to the things it is that you say, that you tell me, and it's worship by doing, because this is earth and then fire and more fire. So based on what I heard you say, this is the action that I'm taking. That's what I have for you guys. It's your daily grind. I love you. We will talk soon. Bye for now.